The ultimate tournament of everything.
Welcome to this Tournament of Everything Scouting Report, where we take little bits of our show and instead of giving you 18 competitors, just highlight one.
That's right. The giant smorgasbord of infinity is too much for anyone to handle in just a single bite. And so what we do here is we just take a toothpick, dip it into that tasty meal of the infinite, and give ourselves a little sampler. And in these scouting reports, we randomly generate just one individual, take a short deep dive, and see how we think they may fare when they show up for the round of competition. So, Rob, what is our randomly generated individual presently?
Our competitor today is the Matsushiro Underground Imperial Headquarters.
It sounds exciting. Let's see if it was. This was a large underground bunker complex built during the Second World War in the town of Matsushiro, which is now a suburb of Nagano, Japan.
The facility was constructed so that the central organs of the government of the Empire of Japan could be transferred there in the event of an Allied invasion. In its construction, 3 mountains that were symbolic of the Matsushiro municipality were damaged, I'm assuming probably to become caves of some sort. Parts of the caves are open to the public today and are operated as a tourist attraction, which seems a little weird to me.
Yeah, so this was some sort of intermountain underground facility for just in case, right? For the fancy head folk of the country to go and be apparently safe to run operations. Is that about right?
Yeah, kind of like their White House bunker, but instead it's in a mountain, which is way cooler. Although I think we have one in a mountain too, don't we?
We probably have 2 in a mountain, 1. Let's talk about this one. The complex, an interlinked series of tunnels underneath several mountains. They had facilities for the Imperial General Headquarters and a palace function, which was also constructed under Mount Maizuru. Military communications under Mount Saijo, government agencies, the Japanese Broadcast Corporation, and central telephone facilities under Mount Zozan, and the residences of the Imperial family under Mount Minakami.
Which apparently they didn't tell the Imperial family about. In March of 1945, secret orders were issued to add a palace to the complex. They informed Emperor Hirohito about the construction in May, but did not tell him that it contained a palace. The plan was to relocate the Emperor to the complex in an armored train, and when informed about the existence of the palace, he twice refused to relocate. It's been suggested that he refused because going would have isolated him and allowed the army to rule in his name, effectively guaranteeing they would pursue the war to suicidal extremes.
Wow. So it wasn't just, if somebody builds you a surprise house under a mountain, it's going to take a lot for you not to want to go and check it out. But I guess suicidal extremes would fall under that category. Let's talk about the construction of it. The initial plan, the government, the NHK, which I believe was the media group, and the telephone bureau was planned for the Mount Zozan Tunnel. The Mount Minakami Tunnel was intended to house the Imperial Palace and the general staff. However, the soil beneath the mountain could not support such a scheme, and the plan was changed to move the palace and the general staff to the Mount Maizuru Tunnel. And on Mount Maizuru, a concrete building was constructed externally, and the Mount Minakami Tunnel was converted into a storage facility. The combined length of the 3 shelters exceeded 10 kilometers.
Now, the army bought land through government agencies, and since silkworm keeping was very profitable at that time, the acquisition of mulberry fields was made at 3 different places, or at 3 different prices according to productivity of the land. The land was then deemed useless after the war and saw its value drop to half, so not great. 130 of the roughly 500 families evacuated for the construction, directed by the Eastern Command of the Imperial Army. Agriculture was allowed, so farmers and their dependents stayed at relatives' houses nearby. However, to conceal the extent of the evacuation, the houses of those families were left as they were, and families were allowed to leave with only 3 tatami mats. Japan, what are you doing? This sounds like not a good thing, and it sounds like it didn't even work. Now, they made most of it with dynamite, primarily, and then moved the debris primarily through human slave labor. Japan, guys, Not good.
Yeah, there's a bunch of not good stuff here, and we're interested in what is good. That's what we're here to find out in the Ultimate Tournament of Everything. I'm sure that there were some, neat stories about this tunnel here. It sounds pretty cool. If you ever get a chance to check out the open and available sections, definitely recommend doing it. But before you do so, I recommend you checking out the open and available episodes of this, the Ultimate Tournament of Everything. We've got something coming out every single day, 5 days a week. These scouting reports, just a brief glimpse into these competitors who will see battle it out, probably not in an underground cave beneath a tunnel, but in sonic form in our Tuesday and Thursday episodes.
And that's right. And we can promise one thing in all of our episodes, the full lengths or the shorts. We did not participate in World War II, and we do not use slave labor in our episodes. And if you like either of those things, you can find us at the next one.
The ultimate tournament of everything.